But then the other piece is looking, and I think I love how you're thinking about how valuable your team's time is in hours. And so you look at, if someone spends an hour following up, what are we actually spending on each one of those hours? And can we get like 80% of the results without having to spend that much money per hour? And that's in my mind, that is what Proline was designed to do. It's to get 80% of the results of doing the follow-up without having to actually spend that money on your people to do it.
I'll add to that too. That piece you're talking about business owners saying that they think a manual follow up is better. I don't think it's worse or anything like that. The problem is we've done manual follow up, a lot of it. Like, especially in the slow season, you're following up because you got the time. Like right now, my guys, we're using Proline to send automated follow up, but they still are attempting to follow up manually. And let me tell you something, nobody answers the freaking phone. So if you get 1 in 10 to actually take your call, that's pretty good. You know what? Like, how much time did you just waste trying to call when 95% of the country gets text messages? Like, so the other thing we do that I think, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but man, it seems like I get really good response rate. Our messaging in text, our emails are very professional. Our follow up emails and things like that, they're very professionally wrote, exactly the way we want that communication to look, but it's an email. But all of our texting, we intentionally kind of screw it up. So we've got automated messages with typos.
Tell me this is very funny.
I'm not lying. You guys can look.
I love this.
We'd like miss commas or not put, just little typos, not put a period where there should be a period, just stupid little things. And it looks legit because we're not robots. People texting from their phone have typos. So what we do is just throw some little errors throughout our automation campaigns to where it doesn't look like a robot sent it. It looks like Josh sent that text, So as soon as we did that, we've been playing with Proline's automation since, well over a year now. And we just kind of keep critiquing and keep modifying. And when we did that, our response rate went way up, because people thought, oh shit, that's not a computer. They screwed that up. I really think that there's something to it, but
I love that. I think it's tough for us to put that in our templates for people, but for anyone listening that once that's maybe a bad look on us. They'd be like, these guys have no idea what they're doing. They give us a bunch of templates of typos, but
right. No, but I would test it. Why not? What's a typo going to do? They're going to
we could have templates that are just like have a disclaimer, like typo template.
Yeah, there you go. That's what you need. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. No, that's great. I think James will listen to this when he's editing it. James, we need to add some more typos to our automations for Proline, because we use, so this is a really interesting thing, and I don't believe it's true of any of the other, to my knowledge, any of the other CRMs in the roofing space. None of them use their own product. Now, do we run into barriers sometimes trying to use our own product that's not designed for a software company? Yes, but we believe in eating our own dog food. Like and it helps us because sometimes we catch bugs before users do, or we run into problems and we're like, oh, this is definitely a problem that our users are having too. Let's fix this just by being on the platform. I mean, there's most of the other roofing CRMs, they use HubSpot, they use Salesforce, they use something other than their own platform as their internal CRM. So yeah, that's a really good idea. I'd love to introduce into our follow-up sequences some text messaging. I know James has been working to make them more conversational, and less looking like they were written by a machine. But the typo thing that's taking it to the next level. I like that.
we live in West Virginia, Southeast Ohio. We're lucky if we spell it right anyway. So like it might not even be an actual typo. We're just spelling it wrong because that's what we were taught.
Oh, that is funny. That is funny. Um, let's I'm trying to think. I feel like there was something else I wanted to ask you about that I'm forgetting now. But we can, oh, I know what it was. So we can definitely circle back, talk about anything business wise, but I wanted to talk about the ears. So
Oh,
we both got a little bit of cauliflower ear. Maybe John here soon too. So John and I are both do jujitsu.
yep.
I've been doing it for a little bit longer. And then you did.
I wrestled all through high school.
Do you do anything still with it, or was that just
So-
a high school thing?
It's funny. You asked because last night we were actually trying to sign my youngest one up for jujitsu and judo classes. We missed wrestling season because we've been traveling so much, and he's not in school yet. He starts school next year, so it's kind of he's been to wrestling practice. I've taken him to the youth wrestling practice just to watch as a bystander because we started going when he was 3, and all we go is just go a couple times, watch, just kind of understand what it is, understand you're going to get your ass kicked, but you might have fun, and you're going to learn some really, really good stuff. I mean, for me, wrestling was my favorite sport. I freaking loved it. I wish I was motivated enough to chase it to college level. No, I just wasn't. But I can promise if my kid gets into jujitsu, we're going to do jujitsu throughout this year until wrestling. I'm just a big supporter of wrestling, and I think I think overall it's the dominant technique in.
Look at MMA. UFC. Mostly the wrestlers win.
The best are either US based wrestling or combat sambo, which we ain't doing that. We'll just stick with the wrestling. I don't even know where you're gonna do combat sambo at, but yeah. So plus our area, Ohio is kind of a dominant force in the wrestling field. So if you can be good here, you can be good anywhere. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like Ohio sucks for pretty much everything other than wrestling, baseball, and that's about it. Ohio State football, I guess, is pretty good, but there's a lot of expertise here. My high school coach was a 2-time Division I All-American. And I'm in this little teeny tiny city in the middle of nowhere in Ohio, but it's just a craved sport in this state. And so it makes good sense. Plus I've got a really, really good background in it to where I would love to get on and help coach. I've always wanted to get into the coaching side of it, but there's never been, I haven't had the time in previous years, and now I've got the time, and now there's kind of a motivation to maybe kind of help, getting Henry in it and getting him excited about it. And